Hello everyone, welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today we're going to be talking some DFS. This is going to be for the Super Bowl, and honestly this is a good example of a single game slate. So we're going to be looking at DraftKings, talking about some prices, talking about who I like and who I don't like essentially. But without further ado, let's get into it. So obviously single game DFS is a different monster if you guys haven't played this before. Just be careful when you're doing this. There's a lot of different choices that you can make. I would suggest if you're new to it, try it out this week with the Super Bowl. There's 3 different free contests on DraftKings. The KFC Sunday Night Showdown one that's been going on pretty much all year long. There is a Modelo one and an AutoZone one as well. Just kind of explore, see what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and then kind of go from there. Obviously, with the single game DFS, you are going to have a captain, which they earn 1.5 points. So if you were going to earn 1 point, you earn 1.5 points. If you earn 2 points, you earn 3 points, essentially. And it just keeps going up from there. So the captain, you generally want to be the person that's going to score the most amount of points. Or sometimes you'll put somebody in the captain spot that you think is going to have a good game that's a little bit cheaper to save money to play other players elsewhere. We'll talk about some of the prices here. I'll probably go through the regular prices and then we can go through the captains. Most people are probably going to have Patrick Mahomes as their captain, but he is by far the most expensive guy. So we'll go over to the flex real quick. So Patrick Mahomes is up here. He's $12,000. Fairly good price there, you know. He's going to have a good game. Pretty much Patrick Mahomes always has a good game unless something really wrong happens. So in single game DFS, a lot of times you like to play both quarterbacks if you can, make it work money-wise. So Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady in this case, you got $50,000 to spend to start with. They cost $22,000 and then even more if you put one of them in the captain spot. The unique thing about this game is you just got so many great options otherwise too. So obviously you got Travis Kelce here up at $11,000. He's been great all year. Not too much bad you can say about Travis Kelce, but with that being said, there's so much opportunity cost, especially when it comes to single game DFS. A strategy that I like to use first is I like to go down to the cheap guys and try to figure out who my value pick's going to be, because on DraftKings you're pretty much going to need somebody that's under that $1,000 or $2,000 range, and that's what's had the most success for me, is trying to pick out a guy that's close to the $200 minimum if there is one. Some games you'll have really good options there, some games you won't. In this case, we do not really have a good option at the $200 range. Keyshawn Vaughn's down here, but I don't think he's going to be involved in this game. You could try somebody like Tanner Hudson if you really want a dart throw, but I'm not going to recommend that one. If you want to go like a fullback or Anthony Sherman, he's $400. I probably still wouldn't go there. LaShawn McCoy, Le'Veon Bell, $600, $800. Not bad. If they get involved at all in this game, they could definitely pay off for that price point. Justin Watson, I do not expect to be active. Tyler Johnson, $1,200. If Antonio Brown doesn't play, he's definitely somebody you could use as a dart throw down there. Demarcus Robinson, he is on the COVID list right now. He didn't test positive, but as long as he keeps testing negative, he's going to play. He was one of those close contacts with that barber, if you guys haven't heard about that story already. $1,400, definitely a good throw there. Byron Pringle could be one if Sammy Watkins doesn't play. So we got some options there. Dude, Ronald Jones at $2,200. This is one that I like a lot, so we're going to stick in our lineup. For this one, the defenses are actually really cheap. Normally when you play single game DFS, the defenses are closer to, 3,000, 3,600, 4,000, 4,800, just depending on the matchup too. In DraftKings, I do like playing the defenses sometimes, but more when you know it's going to be a low-scoring game or there's one team that usually commits a bunch of turnovers. In our case, we do not have that, so I'm probably going to skip out of them. If you're playing in a large GPP field, maybe you want to throw one of them in your lineup every once in a while. I don't have a problem with that, but this is more likely to be a high-scoring game than not. Then we have Rob Gronkowski at $3,000. I think that's a great price. I don't have a problem putting him in. I know he hasn't done as much recently, so there's some risk with it as well. Scotty Miller, $3,400. Kind of like I said with Tyler Johnson. If Antonio Brown doesn't play, that's a very, very good price. Then we got the 2 kickers, Ryan Suckup, $3,800, and Harrison Butker, $4,000. My approach to single game DFS is I do not play kickers ever, and that's my own opinion. If you guys want to play them, you can. Kind of what you know with them is you're going to get somewhere between typically 5 and 14 points. So sometimes you'll hit towards the upper end, sometimes you hit on the lower end. And for the price that you're paying for them, it's really not worth it. Sammy Watkins, $4,200 if he plays. I do not have a problem with that price. especially, last year in the Super Bowl, he played very well himself. Cameron Brate, $4,800. That's kind of a little bit inflated price for him. He definitely needs to score at that price tag. Darrell Williams, kind of the same thing, $5,200, inflated price tag. He could get a touchdown or two in this game. So I think if you're playing in a lot of lineups, you can throw him in a couple of them. Definitely wouldn't hurt you there. But Tampa is pretty good against the run. But Cole Hardman, same kind of theory, honestly. If Sammy Watkins doesn't play, it makes him a lot more attractive. But I'd probably rather pay down to like a Byron Pringle or a Demarcus Robinson, that saved that $4,200, $4,000 price tag. Mecole Hardman's somebody that he really only needs one play to go off in DFS, so that's what makes him really attractive. Long touchdown pretty easily. The one weakness that Tampa Bay does have on defense is they can get beat deep at times. So we got the backup quarterbacks here at $6,000. Obviously, you're not wanting to play the backup quarterbacks because they're probably not going to play. That'd just be a waste of money. Antonio Brown, $6,200. If he plays, this could be a decent price. A discounted wide receiver price for a guy that's going to be on the field quite a bit. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, $7,000. Personally, I am not a fan of paying for him at $7,000 price tag. For me, he's still coming off that injury, the high ankle sprain. Tampa Bay is very good against the running backs. If he doesn't get in the end zone, he's definitely not going to pay off for you. Leonard Fournette, kind of the same thing as Clyde Edwards-Helaire. If I'm playing Leonard Fournette, I'd rather just pay down to Ronald Jones, save the $5,600 because they're pretty much splitting the backfield anyways. I think Jones could even take over again this week. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, these two guys are pretty much the same to me. I think Evans has the higher chance of scoring a touchdown. He did score 2 touchdowns the last time these two teams played, so I don't have a problem putting him in my lineup. And like I said, you're going to want to put one of these quarterbacks, if not 2, in your lineup with Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. Sometimes if you think a game's going to get one-sided, you can go heavy on one side, put the quarterback in, probably put the running back, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, whatever you want to do in that case. Sometimes the defense. There's a lot of different theories on single game DFS. So the best thing to do with it is just kind of go into DraftKings yourself, kind of maneuver around, figure out who you can fit in the salary and kind of go from there. So in this case, we could throw like Patrick Mahomes in and Tom Brady. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, they definitely can pay off for their price. I'd probably be more inclined to play Tyreek Hill just at that discounted price. I think Travis Kelce could have a nice game though too, especially if they try to take Tyreek Hill away. So if we put Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes down here as the regular ones, we'll get over to the captain, and we got $14,400 here. So you could make Chris Godwin your captain. You can make anybody below here. So we're not going to have Travis Kelce or Tyreek Hill in that situation. So we'll take Tom Brady out. We'll just throw Tyreek Hill in, for example, here. So we got $14,000. You see that we're $1,000 short for Tom Brady. I'm going to put him up there, but then in that case, we have to cut somebody down here to get under the cap. So I think we're going to go back to Rob Gronkowski, and we got Tyreek Hill already. We'll go down to Demarcus Robinson here, just for this example. So we have $600 left over. We could spend up somewhere else if we need to. Since we played Demarcus Robinson, you could get rid of Tyreek Hill and put Travis Kelce in here and have all your money spent. Especially if you guys are playing in these free tournaments, be real creative with who you put in your captain spot. Because I assume a lot of people are going to put Patrick Mahomes in the captain spot. Probably 50-60% of people is the obvious choice. But he is the most expensive there. He takes up a good chunk of change, especially when you only got $50,000 to work with. Tom Brady is somebody I like. You save $3,000 there. People are going to have Tyreek Hill up there. They're going to have Travis Kelce as well. I would not be surprised if you see some Mike Evans up there as well. Chris Godwin even maybe. I was toying around with the lineup earlier where I even put Ronald Jones in the captain spot. Like I said, there's just so many different strategies you can take to single game DFS. And that's the part that I really love about it. And every given matchup is a little bit different. I will say single game DFS though. If you haven't done it before, try the free contest first. Try building the lineups. Just practice it a little bit before you go. There's lots of sites out there, too, that can give you kind of projections on these guys. Some of them you do have to pay for. It gives you some more strategy as well. But a lot of times that's really worth it if you're serious about getting into DFS. If not, like I said, focus on the free contest. Focus on, your real cheap contests. DraftKings has contests where you can play for 10 cents, 25 cents, $1. Don't go betting $40 the first time you build a line. and expect it to pay out big, because it's probably not going to happen, especially, these millionaire contests. The people that are winning these ones generally are people that either A, do this for a living, B, have done this for a while and definitely understand it, or C, they're on these websites that have simulators that help build lineups for them. So there's advantages and disadvantages to all that, but like I said, single game DFS, it's something I really enjoy. I think it takes a lot of skill, especially on DraftKings, because you have to figure out who you're going to pay down for, who you're going to pay up for, and kind of work around them whole money there. But with that being said, this is pretty much all I got for today's video. If you guys have any questions at all, please be sure to let me know. If you guys are new to DFS, new to DraftKings at all, have some questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Definitely here to help you guys out. Like I said, this is a very interesting slate. Some of these options are a little bit more priced up than they be in other slates, I feel like. And the Super Bowl is unlike any other game of the season. You'll see things that don't normally happen. That's part of NFL, part of DFS that makes this really interesting. Sometimes it's harder to project who's going to score the touchdowns, and especially in single game DFS, you want to play the guys that you think have the best chance of scoring a touchdown. If you can do that, you're going to be very successful and you're going to make a little bit of money. And if you guys are playing in them free contests, do not be discouraged. Typically, a normal contest, say it has 100 people in it, they typically pay out 20 to 25% to the top. For these free contests, a lot of times it pays out a certain dollar amount to a certain position. So maybe it's the KFC one, they're paying out $10,000 to the top 1,200 people. Well, instead of being capped off like a normal tournament, we had like 5,000 or so, they leave it open. Everybody gets one free entry and they can only enter one time. Sometimes you'll see these contests get 50, 60, sometimes even 70,000 people entering them. And then it's really only the top 1 or 2% that actually get money back. But, if you're playing and you're trying to just kind of work your way through single game DFS, it's a great opportunity to do so. But once again, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more single game DFS content in the future, be sure to let me know. I'll probably do one on DraftKings for tomorrow's video as well. Just kind of working through that, showing you guys the differences between the two different sites, the pricing, and all that, especially when it comes to single game DFS. I have a lot more experience in the DraftKings one myself. That's where I've had the most amount of success, but I have expanded into the FanDuel a little bit as well. So we'll definitely talk through and build a lineup over there on FanDuel as well. If you guys are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. We really appreciate it. It helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports. Talking fantasy football, talking football news, talking DFS. I'm thinking about doing some NBA DFS videos, kind of making one video a day, just talking about my top play at each position for DraftKings. If that's something you guys are interested in, please let me know. Like I said, we're going to do some fantasy baseball content, some baseball news as we get closer to baseball season as well. But with that being said, if you're a new or current subscriber is yet to do so, also hit that notification bell down below. Let you know every single time I put up a new video. And with that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you guys have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to reach out to me, whether it's down in the comments at my email, CoachCraigSports@gmail.com, on Twitter at CoachCraigSport, or on the Coach Craig Sports Facebook page. And with that being said, I really appreciate each and every one of you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. And I really hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.